Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, traders from across the globe, and welcome to the 1492nd edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Sometimes in these videos I give you charts that are geared for longer term trading. In tonight's video you will get both. Some for longer term, some for shorter term. But generally what we do here is for very fast term. You know, as the market changes gears, we change opinions. As you know, futures trading is extremely risky, causes substantial financial losses, certainly not suitable for all traders. You can definitely lose a lot of money, if not all of your money, plus more, in this game. You must know, a stop is your best friend. Always use risk capital, always put your stops in first, and use technical analysis to make your entries and exits. That's what I'm here to teach you, traders. That's what I teach at livewithoscar.com. In fact, if you like the analysis I'm about to show you, I've got some things on the board. We're going to get right to the charts. If you like that, if you like learning analysis, if you want to be a better analyst, which should help make you become a better trader, don't trade alone. Come join me and hang out with me in my live trading room. It is free, and I will help you understand the art of technical analysis. To take that a step further, I am holding a 4-day training session where I will train you and teach you how to come up with Oscar's Market Navigational Indicator on your own, how you can come up with the same OMNI trades that the OMNI belts out for our crowd every day. If that sounds appetizing to you, you want to learn this for yourselves, September 9th through 12th, I'm holding a 4-day class here in Las Vegas. I will teach it to you personally. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and there are only 3 open seats for that class. If you would like to be one of the last 3 I'm going to approve, come to livewithoscar.com, fill out your OmniCamp application, and I will personally call you. Traders, with no further ado, I want to show you right away, what about soybeans, Oscar? What about copper? What about sugar? What about T-bonds? These are questions I've gotten over the last few days. Omniacs are asking me, come on, Oscar, you got to tell us about these. So I'm going to show you charts on those right now. And then a couple of other goodies from Oscar. Some other goodies, Oscar style, I like to call it, which I'll show you. Things that I've picked out. So this video will show some different commodities and where we think they're going. And we are starting off tomorrow's trading session because all eyes are on the Bank of England, and they are probably going to do a rate reduction, probably 25 basis points. We'll start off with a neutral position and see what happens. If the market sets up, we'll take the Omni trade. If it doesn't set up, we've got some other stuff on this board to play with, I assure you. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts.
I drove 29 hours from Wisconsin to come down here, drove it straight through. And on the way down, I was expecting to perhaps be tired somewhere along the way because it's a long drive. And I was up essentially for probably a day and a half, but my mind was just racing all the way down. I had so many things that I wanted to learn. I had so many questions that I wanted to ask. I was so excited about being able to come down here and meet him in person because he's just a force of nature when you see him on these videos. He's every bit as fun and informative and genuine as you might suspect, and just the whole way down I was completely engaged in wanting to be here.
I've been watching him for the last 8 months, and of course I was skeptical when I saw his flashes and all that, and then I started watching and seeing what he was doing and seeing what he was doing, and I was quite impressed by what he was putting out there, so I had to come and see it.
I came here because I saw Oscar on the internet, of course, joined the chat room, was impressed with his apparent track record, and so I bought the course to learn how to do it myself.
I was learning along the way as in the chat room, things would pop up, and I definitely recognized within a month or two that it was very, very powerful what was going on. It was very, very, there was a lot of possibility. I saw the possibility, but yet I understood within a relatively short period of time that it was very, very difficult for me to do without having the extra additional knowledge about what Oscar does. So that's why I made the decision and was very, very fortunate to be able to come out to this first OmniCamp 2.0, and I'm very, very glad that I did.
I had big expectations regarding his system, and this whole experience just blew my mind. I mean, it over-delivered expectations, for sure.
Why create mediocrity when you can imitate genius? And to me, Oscar is a genius in this business because he's studied it more, he's tested it more, he's tested it with his own money and continues to do that. You know, what better validation could you have?
Traders, what about soybeans, Oscar? Well, here's a soybeans chart. This is a daily November chart. A couple of videos back, I showed this to you and said, look, it's bouncing off the OMNI Trading Academy's proprietary moving average, OTAPMA. And I said, that's probably going to be a buy. Well, so far, so good. It got past this quadrant, this one, into here. Why not get up there? It's working so far. So we've got to like soybeans for now. There's no reason why you shouldn't. If it turns, it turns. This is a daily formation, a daily chart, and a daily opinion. But for trading on Thursday, we like buying the dips and beans. So there's the answer to number one. Then, Oscar, what about copper? And Dr. Copper decides to join us with the cup and handle formation. A round of applause. So, we've got an official cup and handle, or we had one a month or so ago in gold, and gold took off. Then we found one in silver, and silver exploded, and now we've got one in copper, and already 2 days out of the chute, you got two pretty big days out of the handle. So there's your answer to what about copper. Probably follow the cup and handle and buy dips, and see what happens once we get above this up here. Very interesting. Oscar, what about sugar? Well, take a look at sugar. Interesting chart. Look at how often sugar holds this line. It looks fantastic. The only thing I would tell you, sugar bugs, about this looking fantastic is this. On this day, it settled at the high. On this day, when it hit the market, or the line, it settled at the high. On this day, when it hit the line, it settled at the high. And we settled down at the low, at the line, on Wednesday. So a little bit different look, but it has held every time. I just thought I'd point that out to you, traders. I'm not giving an actual rec. If it holds, we can become buyers. If it fails, well, then you know what likely comes next. So one of those days where you might want to take a look at it and not trade. But for my fans who asked me about sugar, if you're long, bit of caution here, okay? Just watch out for that one. Next, T-bonds. Oscar, how about T-bonds? Well, you know, a couple of weeks back I gave out, in fact, on 5/1, on May 1st, I gave out some targets in bonds, OMNI targets for the year 2016 into 2017. We expect 182, then 201, then 212 in the bonds. Can you imagine? I never thought I'd be saying these words ever when I got in this game. But if you look at this channel that we've been in since the crash of 2009, the stock market crash, which is here, we've been inside this channel no matter what's happened, but we have gotten out of the channel in the form of a bull flag, a big bull flag. We broke out of the channel, and we reside here right now. So 182 is not even slightly far-fetched. 201, neither is that. And 212, I think all of that comes our way, unless the Fed decides to raise rates. No stopping this from happening. Why? BOE about to lower rates tomorrow. Where do you think the money that's leaving the bonds out of the BOE are going to go? Into our bond market. How do you stop this rally? I don't think there's a way. Buyer of big dips. This is long-term view here. Then there's some Oscarisms, traders. The euro. I understand that the Bank of England's about to do something with rates tomorrow, likely cut, and the euro is very involved with the Bank of England, obviously, right? The British pound, the euro. But we've had this bear flag for quite some time under the 200-bar moving average, and a bear flag usually produces a bearish move. And we've been selling the euro each day, and it hasn't really moved much, so we haven't gotten all that much out of it, or at least trying to sell it if we don't get filled. But there's the bear flag below the 200 on your daily. On your daily. But let's look at the weekly now. Wow, look at the size of the flag on the weekly. My goodness. Look at the pole. Look at how the length of the flag. It's absolutely in proportion with the pole. In fact, it could grow longer and still be in proportion with the pole. So good flag there on your weekly. But then you take the euro currency out to the monthly and recognize that the euro long term is going down, kids. That's where it's going, and that is that. Charts do not lie. The weekly, the daily, the monthly are all showing you the same thing. Now, you can pull up many charts, and then a weekly you might have one look, and a daily you've got a completely different look, and forget the monthly. But these in the euro currency are all the same. Interesting, right? This is, again, slightly longer term trading here. And then I think this is the coolest thing I'm going to show you in this entire video. Check out this crude trade. This is something I like to call, it's an Oscarism, if you will. I call it the mirror image. I've taught this before, over the last 10 years. I've brought the mirror image out to my crowd. I try to keep it a little bit quiet because it can be confusing, and let me show you what that is. When you get 2 days like these two right here where the market runs up, turns around, and runs back down just about the same highs and lows, and opens and closes are opposites, that almost always produces some kind of a down move. You get another one here, and the down move. We get another one here, and the down move. Here you had one of those first two bars, and it didn't work for a while. It took several days before the market finally broke down to here. It did come down eventually, but it didn't work out the very next day. So that one, it worked, but not right away. Then we've got another one right here, these 2 days, and wham, you get the downturn. These 2 days, you get the downturn. These 2 days, you get the downturn. And now we've got that situation, that very situation right here. And unless it turns out to be one of these, you should get a downturn. The mirror image, traders. Look at that. It's a fantastic piece of technical analysis. A small, very quick, short-term formation, but it can work really well if used properly. Take a look at your crude oil charts for the possible down move off the mirror image, and I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com. So, traders, you've seen the charts and you've got my technical argument for why soybeans look like they may rally up a little bit. Cup and handle in the copper. Sugar, do or die spot. Take a look at that. Very interesting spot. And now you've got your T-bond targets. Once again, it's the second video I've given you these targets in. So it's not the first time I put those very same targets in front of you. But in this video, once again, I give you my long-term targets in bonds. Traders, what did you think about the Oscar style? How about a round of applause for the mirror image, right? Wow, if that works out, it looks great. And then Europeans with that euro currency. Now, I am a fan of Europe. I am a fan of all of Europe. How could I not be? The UK is our parents. We're all supposed to like our parents. I am absolutely a fan. I have great omniacs and great friends that I really care about all over Europe. So I have no bad ill will, nothing of that nature. But I am here to say that euro chart I showed you on the board, come on now, daily, weekly, monthly, maybe over some time your euro is going to come off. Just a word of caution. I hope that doesn't end up being the case. All right, traders, come join me at livewithoscar.com. If you get a chance, join me in my live free chat room. I will be there at the helm on camera and microphone to help you get through these rough and tumble markets. Remember, keep your emotions at bay to the best of your ability. I know that's not easy, but put your stops in first. And then relax, fold your hands, and say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. Emotions are out. Rock and roll. I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.